welcome back to Mayhem Moms. I'm Marika and today we're going to do a video on the top 5 items that you don't need to bring home a baby. These items are just the top 5 items that didn't really work for me the first time around, and if I hadn't invested in them the first time, I definitely wouldn't be using them the second time. Now, if you have any items that you totally regret buying for baby, please let me know down below in the comments. Last week I did a video on the top 10 items that I think everyone should have on their baby registry, and if you're interested in that, I will put a link to that down below in the description. Alright, let's get started. When you've got a crying baby in the middle of the night, the last thing you want to do is add an additional step to soothing that crying baby. And that step being filling up the little water container that sits on the outside of them. First you fill it up and then you dump it in and you wait for the steam to warm up the bottles or the wipes. We just always opted to warm our bottles under warm water under the kitchen sink, but you can go totally old-fashioned with it and warm that bottle up right on your kitchen stove. And as far as wipes go, as long as you keep them at room temperature and you don't leave them in the car overnight like I definitely have, you shouldn't have to worry about the temperature of the wipes. They should always be at a great temperature for baby's bottom. Now, these things sound awesome. I was like, wait, I have all these stinky diapers, I'm gonna need somewhere to put them. But just a normal trash can with a lid is gonna be just as great as a diaper genie. First off, diaper genies don't really contain the smell any better than just a normal trash can would. Second off, the refills are kind of expensive. I think they're like $20 for a 3-pack, which isn't bad, and they do last you pretty long, but just normal trash bags are much cheaper. And lastly, they're kind of a pain to empty out. It's like a 2-step process. You have to lift the lid up and pull the bags out and then try to rip the bag, and sometimes they didn't rip right, and it was just a pain. It was just an extra step that we didn't really need in our lives. Now, you definitely need something that is at standing level to change baby on, and they have these awesome changing pads nowadays that screw into the top of your dresser and the wall, so you have a nice, safe, secure place to put baby to change them. You're already going to need a dresser in your nursery to put all of baby's cute, adorable clothes in, so why not get multi-use out of it and take advantage of that space that's on top of the dresser with a changing pad. Now, I know these are adorable and they can definitely dress up a nursery, but the practicality of them isn't as great as the way that they come across with marketing. I know when I was pregnant with my first, I was super excited to have like the full-on nursery. We were going to decorate it gray and pink for like cute little elephant themed, and we actually did end up getting the full-on crib set. But as I was getting closer to my due date and doing more research on bringing home a baby, I learned that it's really not safe to use those type of bumpers in the crib. If you are going to use bumpers, they definitely recommend that you use at least the mesh ones as opposed to the more comforter-like ones or pillow-like ones. That's definitely a personal parenting decision, but we just opted to get rid of the bumpers altogether. So that was one item that was already not being used. And then it came with like a comforter, which was adorable, and it had this little elephant on it, but you can't really put babies in a crib that has blankets in it right when they're brought home from day one. I did put it up, and I thought maybe as she got a little bit older that we would end up using it, but we just ended up putting her in a normal toddler-sized bed, and it just never got used. So out of a $40 crib set, we ended up just using a crib sheet and a crib skirt. Now, these would have been a lot cheaper had we known this ahead of time like we do this time and just purchased them separately. Definitely, I wouldn't stress about this if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have a swing yet or a bouncer. You never really know what your baby's gonna like, and every baby's different. Our daughter, we purchased a swing and bouncer set that was like matching and super cute, and our daughter absolutely hated it. And we were like, oh no, our daughter's gonna want to be held all the time. What are we gonna do? And then after my daughter was about a month old, we ended up going over to my sister's house. My niece is 3 months older than my daughter, so she had a baby swing set up in her living room. And we put my daughter in it. One time I think we were like warming up a bottle or something, and she loved it. She loved the motion. It was a totally different motion than the first swing that we had purchased. It had lights that reflected on the walls that kept her distracted for hours. So just see if you can test out baby gear before you actually purchase it with your baby. And if you can just borrow things that you know you're gonna need or gonna get some short-term use out of, it's great to borrow things like rock and plays or saucers or walkers. That way, when you're done with them, you can just give them back and you don't have to worry about that extra clutter in your house or in your life. Alright, well that is all I have for you today. Those are the top 5 items that I don't think you need to bring home a baby. If you have any items that you totally regret buying for your newborn, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe.